You are supporting a football club that hasn't won the league in 21 years.
Since the internet was invented.
In 21 years.
Bro, Twitter is devil thing.
You are supposed to go to Orita Meta. Orita Meta, they'll go and first, you go to the market, get your porridge, get potato, get your herbal flowers, and get a calabash.
Well, God's
Then wake up,
God's they enjoy it.
Then
Last that job.
then buy your red palm oil and your white clothes. I wake up at 11:50 in the midnight.
Mikel Arteta, second place finish, third season in a row. And Pep Guardiola, after a fractious season that saw him finish third, which can be called a failure even by his own lofty standards. Which of these coaches have more to prove in the coming season? Well, welcome to Crossfire, brought to you by Life's Comments. I am Anishilewo, Jimmy Anishilewo, and I'm here with Tunde and Tosin to discuss who they think has more to prove in the coming season between Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola. So, Tosin, who would you say has more to prove in the coming season, Guardiola or Arteta?
That question is somehow. Because if I'm being honest, Arteta has not proven anything in his life. Even when he was a professional footballer, he didn't really prove much.
Wow.
And as a manager, he has proved actually absolutely nothing. What if I tell you that Xabi Alonso is about to win a title this season, and we are still waiting for Mikel Arteta to bounce back from that fluky FA Cup run that he had? And I can guarantee you, I'm a Barcelona fan, I can guarantee you that Real Madrid will actually either win the league or the Copa del Rey. They will win something this season. And so Xabi Alonso most likely will end the season with actually a trophy to his name. And Xabi Alonso, when did Xabi Alonso start? When did Mikel Arteta start? And over the years, there has been a rhetoric about Mikel Arteta that he's building. Even Thierry Henry said that that building is already a tall building. You know what they've added to that tall building? They've added more players to that tall building. They said that Thomas Partey couldn't do it. Declan Rice is now the new Pogba. He needs people to unlock him. You remember that time they used to say that Bruno Fernandes will unlock Pogba. Now they are saying Zubimendi is going to be the... Okay, you splash cash on Zubimendi. You want Gyökeres or Sesko? They will get you a striker. You are still in the bid for Rodrigo. Whatever the case is, you want Madueke, you want to steal him from Chelsea. They will give it to you. When are you going to win something in your life? When are you going to be successful? For Pep Guardiola, I can tell you without... I'm even going to get to Pep Guardiola in a second segment. But for Mikel Arteta, not only is he under pressure, he needs to be scrutinized. Because he always says a lot of jargons. This year, I'm an attacking coach. I'm inspired with the philosophy of Pep Guardiola. Next year, I'm a defensive coach. Mourinho is my mentor and my idol. Whatever, he's just always saying opposite. Whatever is working at the time. He has discarded Ramsdale, he brought in Kepa. Whatever the case, he has the resources, the tools to be successful. And any manager in his place would have been held accountable. It is time Arsenal fans start holding him accountable. Where are the trophies? Where are the trophies? This is the season for him to actually be held accountable.
All right. Thank you. So, Tunde, what about you? Who do you think has more to prove?
For me, this is a conversation of... When I talk about Arsenal, I always try to specify, are we doing banter or are we going with logic? I'm feeling very logical this morning, so let's
That's
go with
a
logic.
first.
So I should have known. It's your jury that can also double as battery.
Whatever. Just
Your remote battery change. I should have known what you held up to this morning. But away from your turn action. Let's talk about, and please follow my logic on this. It's obviously Pep Guardiola, in the general context of football, has nothing to prove to anybody. Let us first clarify that. Pep Guardiola has never even finished below third in any league in his career. So he's a certified greatest manager of all time, in my opinion, and whatnot. The greatest league manager of all time, easily. That being said, this is not a conversion of career. This is a conversion of next season. Pep Guardiola has more to prove than Mikel Arteta in the sense that, in the context of next season, in the sense that he has to prove that he's not finished. As good as you are, with everything you've done, the signs of finishing is there small. When he first started with Jose Mourinho, as a Mourinho fanboy myself, we were in denial. Oh no, it's that tactics that if Man U just give him this one and give him that one, it's Man U that's the problem. Let him leave and go to Tottenham, and you will see what he will do there. Oh, it's Tottenham. Let him. Tottenham have never won anything there. Let him leave. He will find a top club. Let him go to Roma. He will do something. And from Man U, Tottenham, Roma, now we're in Fenerbahce. From Fenerbahce, I don't know where you go again after. You either go to Saudi or you might even touch Nigeria. So that's the progression. All good things must come to an end. Everything finishes at the point. Everyone finishes. Player, manager, whatever, your run will end. Pep Guardiola now has to prove that his run has not ended. Because after last season, that was a horrific season. You can't spend damn near 500 million euros. The GDP, that money is too much for Nigerian politicians to even steal. Well, that's not true, because this one's are making records. But that money is too much for thieves to steal. You spend almost $500 million in a summer. Nico Gonzalez that they signed for 60 million from Porto in January is already already up for sale. Already up for sale. You signed Nico Gonzalez to replace Rodri because Rodri was injured. And now you sign Reinders for 50 million to replace Nico Gonzalez because the fact that Nico Gonzalez actually, there's a reason he was playing for Porto in the first place at his age, and it's not really that good as football for you to spend 60 million. The other midfielder that he signed, Mateus Nunes, who was signed as a midfielder, you saw, this one, football don't really be away. You turn out the right fullback. Then you sign Ryan Sheki for 40 million, sign Ryan Asnuri for 45 million. These are real money. This is not fantasy football money. Honestly, I'd have called it it was just the way Guardiola, big spender, low weko. Guardiola is a big boy. The check menu, just bring. Check it, bring. Mamouche, 70 million. Just break. They signed Grealish for 100 million. Grealish had one more Premier League goal than me last season. I did not play in the Premier League. In case if you didn't say which team I play for. That's the thing. He has leeway. Even though everybody spends into this football, everybody spends. I'm not going to use spending against him. The difference between Pep Guardiola spending and everybody else is spending is that everybody else cannot afford to make the kind of transfer mistakes he has made already, and he will still make. I don't even call Kusanov. They signed Kusanov for 45 million. They signed another centre back, Victor Rice. They signed him for 35 million. I'm telling you that guy could cut my hair as my barber in Oshodi tomorrow, and I will not know that is the one. That's how insignificant he's been for 35 million Great British pounds. So this is how Pep Guardiola, he has so much leeway that Arteta cannot. Arteta spends his 5 million on Havertz. People like TOSIN have nearly killed him. Always remind him, why do you spend 5 million on Havertz? Why do you spend 5 million on Havertz? Sterling, they don't even spend money for Sterling. Sterling was a free loan that they will see will even pay only half of his salary. It was literally costing them next to nothing in football terms. And people nearly killed Arteta for that signing. So, who has more to prove? It's the person that is spending the GDP of African countries to sign players. That's the person that has more to prove next season. Show us that you are not finished. And the only way to do that is to win the league. What does Arteta have to prove? Arteta has proven already that bad as he bad. Come rain, sunshine, injuries, no signings, whatever is happening in football, he's going to finish second at the very least. That is already his base. I don't think he has much to prove. If going from second to first, yes, it's big because Arsenal have not won the league in a long time. But that's not that great of an achievement because he has already set that base over the last 3 years. So if he wins the league, Arsenal fans will celebrate. If he doesn't, he still brought them a lot of stability. Pep Guardiola definitely has more to prove, in my opinion, in the context of next season.
All right. So, TOSIN, what are your expectations for next season?
You see, before I even get to that, you see, Tunde does not want what is good for Arsenal. He doesn't.
Actually, yes. I don't know why. I'm a Chelsea fan.
He said, nah, logical. He said the difference from second to first is not. Do you know what the difference between first and second is? Being the league champion. Something that Arsenal fans have not seen about 21 years now. My expectation.
That's true. It's been 21 years.
I'm not even going to.
so far.
I'm,
What you mean 21 years?
I'm not even going to even.
21 years ago, gospel was already 40.
I'm not even going to like. If you don't like, do you know how? This is not a horror film. This is not a horror film. Arsenal have not won the league. You are supporting a football club that hasn't won the league in 21 years.
Since the internet was invented.
In 21 years.
Bro, Twitter is not good.
You are supposed to go to Orita Meta. Orita Meta, you go and first you go to the market, get your porridge, get potato, get your herbal flowers, and get a calabash.
Well, God's day.
Then wake up
God's
top.
day enjoy it.
Then buy your red palm oil and your white clothes and wake up at 11:50 in the midnight. Go to the Orita Meta and say, "Ah, mercy on me, Shango, whatever."
Why does this
whatever
sound
the
like
case is.
you are talking from experience?
That's how you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. Some of us, you think, some of us that were here, we didn't win the league. I remember we didn't win as a Barcelona fan. We didn't win the league in 2007. We didn't win the league in 2008. How do you think we won the treble in 2009?
So because of your
That's a story for another day.
Okay, no, pressure. Why you don't do one for Champions League? I mean, they ask you for
Subscription.
That's a story for
they
another
ask
day.
you for an unlimited amount of potatoes. They say Champions League potato different from La Liga.
Now that Netflix sub, there's HD and it's fucking.
You guys are not serious person. I can't believe people pay him to do this.
Do the necessary sacrifices to be successful. You have to slaughter your. It's even in the Bible. You can slaughter your best son or whatever the case.
Who are you presenting?
but let's actually even shift to the expectations.
Finally, some football.
Let's shift to the expectations for this season. One of the reasons why I said, if you look at why I'm saying there's so much pressure on Mikel Arteta, and for the first time, I think Arsenal fans are going to hold him accountable because the rest of we football fans, Barcelona fans, will know what success is. So when somebody is presenting second as success to me, I can't buy that. I cannot buy that. You understand? One of the reasons why Unai Emery was fired, no, he was not even given the backing, was that like they didn't feel it was a long-term approach. Arteta has been given enough time to actually succeed. When you look at it from that perspective, one of the reasons why I believe that Mikel Arteta is going to be under a lot of pressure is because last year was a down year for Manchester City. Last year was a down year for them. They were as close as Arsenal. They made reinforcements. And if you know anything by Pep Guardiola's track record, go and check the seasons whereby he finished third or fourth and what happened the next season. Go and see the season he finished second to Barcelona, to Real Madrid in 2012. When he went to Bayern, what happened? When he came to the Premier League, he finished, is it third or fourth in his first season? What happened the next season? So if Pep Guardiola has a down year, you check the next season. He always bounces back. And Liverpool are also going to be in the mix. So all that failure that Arsenal had last season, there has to be a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta to actually deliver for the first time.
All right. Tunde, what about you? What are your expectations for the coming season?
My expectations for the coming season, obviously, is that as a Chelsea fan, I hope the rest of the clubs hold up and nobody does anything apart from.
So you like Maresca as a day?
No, but like, what can I do? I can't sack him, so I have to support. But in the context of these two teams, what I expect from next season, obviously, is for the league to be between both of them to challenge for. Liverpool, nobody really gave. I know a lot of people outside like to act like they saw it coming, but nobody really gave Liverpool a chance to win that league season pre-season. Like before the season started, they were changing managers. I personally thought it would take a lot of time to settle in. City had just won 4 in a row. Everybody thought City were the favourites anyway, and Arsenal have been pushing. So maybe they thought, Arsenal fine. Then Liverpool came out of nowhere and surpassed both of them. I think that it will be hard for Liverpool to maintain that, even though they've made additions to the squad. But I think it's going to be difficult to do. I think it's between City and Arsenal actually. City because yes, they spent a boatload of money. you can't spend that much to renew or refresh your squad and not compete. So that's what I expect from them. But from an Arsenal's perspective, I think that Arteta actually has to win the league or win something. I don't even think win something means either of the two cups, because at this time that ship has sailed for that to be enough for Arsenal fans' appetites. Yes, and that's the bad thing about, that's the downside of raising a team's level. Arsenal 3 years ago would have been very, very satisfied with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Even 2 years ago, it would have been seen as a sign of progress, but they were expecting more. But now, after you have gone on trophyless in the last 3 seasons, even though you achieved a very good level in terms of competing in the league, finishing second in all 3 seasons, it now feels like you need at least one of the big 2 trophies. That's the Champions League or the Premier League. And even there are some Arsenal fans that believe that you need both. So Arteta definitely, I think this is last year getting away with being trophyless. Yes, last season he probably did not foresee the fact that the league was that up for grabs. Nobody saw the fact that City would be terrible coming. Nobody really saw Liverpool coming. Like, if people knew there was a void like that, Arsenal probably would have gotten a striker and they would have won last season. And even without a striker, they could have won last season without their injuries. I maintain that injuries really messed them up. So I give him grace for that. But now, you are bringing in a striker. I think they will bring in a striker, either Glenn Corres or Sesko, whoever they sign. I think that should be enough to put them over the line. They are refreshing their squad. Zubimendi coming into that midfield. So I think that they actually have to win the league. That's the expectation for next season. Will they do it? I don't know. I honestly can't say. The Premier League or any league for that matter is not as straightforward. There are lots of variables that go into. Like I said, everybody thought City were going to win the league last season, and look at how horribly they played and where they finished. So who knows? Maybe Chelsea will sneak in there and win it this time, the way Liverpool snuck in and won this. But one thing I do know for a fact that I can bet my life is not going to happen is that Man Let me tell you about things that can happen before Man U win the league title. I know this episode is not about Man U. I know this episode is not, but I think that the Pope will get married before Man U wins. I think that Russia will have a black president. Let's not get cancelled. I'm done.
Well, we've heard from both Tunde and TOSIN. What about you guys? What do you think? Who do you think has more to prove between these two coaches, Mikel Arteta or Pep Guardiola? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I am Anishilo, Jimmy Anishilo, and this is Crossfire, brought to you by Life's Comments.